in and invest in careers. This should be all over the news. Don't tell anyone.
Neues All-Time-High schreiben und dann ist die Bewegung nach oben gegeben. Und die zweite Frage, die ich mir stelle,
natural based, and then you decide to venture out into cryptocurrency, specifically XRP. What was the thinking there?
No. Expand. Because
they try to shake me out, but I was born ready. Dropping down the price, then I be getting plenty. They want all your bags and they want all them empty.
What's up, good glitches? Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock news. No breakfast, no coffee. Shout out to the latest up. We got XRP currently right around $3.04. We got Bank XRP to pop off. Dan Moorhead, the founder of Pantera Capital, recently appeared on CNBC to share his insights. Ripple is going after Swift. Bitcoin is digital gold. Solana is very good at performance blockchain. XRP, the flipping it.
Yeah, and there might be other use cases, other, like Ripple's going after Swift, Bitcoin's digital gold. There's several different major use cases, but Solana's very good at the performant blockchain.
Paul Bear Network breaking silver on the verge of a 45-year, once-in-a-lifetime breakout.
45 years in the making for this chart right here.
Represents the opportunity of a generation, and I mean that sincerely. This represents less than 1% of all of history. I said, we got to tell everyone to sell their gold. I'll sell it to the market, convert it to silver. 45 years of suppressed energy. Do I think it'll bust above 50? Yeah, I do. In fact, on the futures right now, let's take a look.
Yep, outperforming Bitcoin for sure.
Don't tell anybody. Nobody knows about it.
Well, they're going to know about it now. Would you go ahead and move some of those gold and Bitcoin assets over to ETH and silver?
Look, pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. Yeah, take some of the froth off and put it into undervalued assets. Yes, it's being proactive rather than reactive. Honest to God, this is a gift that you only see once or twice, if you're lucky, in and invest in careers. This should be all over the news. Don't tell anyone.
We'll also take a look at XRP with a similar setup, looking extra bullish. XIF Crypto German analysis turns bullish on XRP breakout zone 340 plus, new all-time high 390. Anytime soon, he believes XRP is on the verge of a major breakout that could happen anytime soon, with ETFs set to launch, Clarity Act, rate cut.
Auch bei XRP, wenn wir das hier als letztes High nehmen, ist es alles Tagesdarstellung. Wer sich das mal in der Wochendarstellung anschauen möchte, der kann sich die letzten Videos anschauen. Ich habe es jetzt mal in der Tagesdarstellung groß rausgezogen, damit wir mal die Schnipsel am Ende dieser Entwicklung sehen. Und da ist völlig klar, auch hier muss man, wo muss der hin? Der muss als nächstes mal diesen Bereich hier rausnehmen. Ja, das sind die $3,40, da muss er drüber auf 3,50 und dann muss er hier drüber und ein neues All-Time-High schreiben und dann ist die Bewegung nach oben gegeben. Und die zweite Frage, die ich mir stelle, wo geht es hin als nächsten Schritt nach oben, ist, wo sind die Supportbereiche nach unten? Unter welche Supportbereiche sollte er besser nicht fallen? Und auch da könnte man im ersten Ansatz sagen, okay, wenn das ein Low ist, dann sollte es besser hier nicht drunter fallen. Und dann beobachtet man dieses Low und wenn er auch da drunter fällt und kein neues High schreibt, dann weiß man, es ist eine Trendumkehr da. Und in dieser Granularität.
Crypto Idiot had a quick conversation with an OG chart master yesterday and mentioned my hope for XRP spot ETS to translate to correlated price action up. I was reminded to look at the net inflows, outflows of the spot Bitcoin ETS because it is not always what you might think. He was correct. There are times when ETF inflows were strong and the price of BTC went down. Examples can be found June 26th to July 12th, January 21st to March 2nd, August 22nd to September 3rd. XRP price action post ETS will be a chart to track. All in crypto president of Ethereum trading. I'm an XRP enthusiast.
Based, and then you decide to venture out into cryptocurrency, specifically XRP. What was the thinking there?
Well, we had filed for Bitcoin before, and we do have crypto interests, and I'm an XRP enthusiast. And when I saw the opportunity to file and get it approved, and really not holding XRP itself, but holding the derivatives so that we could leverage it and give investors what they want. They clearly want some leverage. We got a great ticker, double XRP, XXRP, and it took off. It was a big hit immediately, right out the door.
And if you could put on a forecasting hat, as somebody who looks at the fund flows, looks at the industry, Where do you think else in the crypto sphere is ripe for even more activity with regard to cryptocurrencies that's outside the realm of XRP, Ethereum, and of course, Bitcoin?
Honestly, I think picking the next coin is harder than people need to catch the wave of what crypto and the blockchain is doing to business. This really is the internet in the 1990s. I think there's a sea change coming, and picking the companies that are going to use whatever cryptocurrency comes next is going to be the big trick and the trick to big wealth.
Do you think that there is going to be an ETF boom in companies in that ecosystem?
No question.
All right.
Explosive moonshot loading for XRP. Digital asset investor, she's still seething at the idea that Ripple might get a Fed master account. She worked closely with Senator Lemons, who refuses to meet with Brad Garlinghouse. No coincidences?
No.
Expand.
Because stablecoin issuers are not legally depository institutions. There's been a rush to get trust company charters, and there have been several now who have applied for Fed master accounts. And the Fed master account system, you have to legally be a depository institution in order to use the payment system. Let's step back. What is a depository institution? It is a financial institution that is legally authorized to accept a US dollar deposit. A trust company by law is prohibited from accepting a US dollar deposit. To be able to use FedWire and ACH, the Fed has taken the position that you have to be a depository institution. So a trust company may be able to use trust services like storing T-bills in a Fed master account. There's precedent for that, although not clear that that's even legal. But the Fed has historically given some trust companies access to Fed master accounts, however, not for moving money in the payment system. What's the value of moving money in the payment system? It's the par guarantee. This is why ultimately we saw so early that you have to be a depository institution, and that the stablecoin market, I firmly believe, will go entirely to the banks. That doesn't mean that crypto companies won't themselves become banks, but right now there are exactly 3 of us that are banks. And we're all Wyoming special purpose depository institutions because by law, we are authorized to accept US dollar deposits. The Nebraska DADI charter is not legally a depository institution, therefore not eligible. All these trust companies, including OCC trust companies, also not eligible to get access to the payment system for moving US dollar deposits. That is where the distinction is. And I have had very extensive conversations with the actual decision makers, and I believe firmly that that is ultimately where it will come down. So these trust companies stops that several crypto companies are in the process of making right now are intermediary stops. That's great. That gives companies the ability to do business nationwide. If they have not been able to do so, they don't have to do the 50 state money transmitter licenses. So there are benefits to getting, for example, an OCC trust company charter, but getting access to FedWire and ACH at the Fed, you've got to legally be a depository institution. And I firmly do believe, with very good, very recent conversations with decision makers, that the Fed is not going to change that.
Diving into the charts, got the crypto basic analyst pop-up predicts XRP price could reach $8.50 by November, aligning with Fib 3.618. Galaxy, BTC, XRP will definitely have its time. Similarities between now and the cycle of 2017 and 2018 are hard to ignore. Ripples and waves, XRP, I'm not saying this will happen, but just a possibility. Maybe be cautious just in case, given the magnitude of the week's meetings. Brett Crypto X, XRP chart looks explosive. Cup and handle breakout in play, falling wedge breakout confirmed. Fib targets lining up, $3.80, $4.50, $5.10. ETF news plus technicals plus Clarity Act plus rate cuts equals the perfect storm. And Gonzo 3T XRP looks strong for the day. It broke the trend line with a retest of the outside while holding the 50% level and holding the 50 SMA. Couple things to note: in 2024, we had 3 rate cuts in September, November, December 18th, 2024. Take a look at XRP in September. Didn't really do much. And in fact, in October, we went down before blasting off. But we did have the rate cut in November where XRP went from around 50 cents up to around $2.86, and the December 18th rate cut was down into the end of December, where XRP had another move up to around $3.40. Let me know your thoughts down below. Did the rate cuts help push XRP higher in possible delayed reaction, or were the charts just ready to rocket? We got the 2025 potential rate cut date, September 16th through the 17th, October, and then December. First rate cut decision any day now. Taking a look at some cup and handle examples here. Got the cup and handle. Once it broke this downtrend, it was go time. Here goes another example here. Spot the cup. Phase 2, the handle. The breakout. Once it broke the downtrend, it was go time. Another cup and handle example. Breakout point. Here goes another cup and handle example. Cup death from the handle low. Gives you your target. Once again, once we broke this downtrend, it was go time. Here we have XRP. Spot the cup. We got the handle. Breakout against the downtrend confirmed. Stay above this downtrend and it could be go time. Next confirmation, break the previous levels around $3.66. If we take the cup death, which is around 107.77% from the handle low, who gives you a target at around $5.60 for XRP. TikTok ETFs loading. Rate cuts loading. Clarity Act loading. And the longer they take, the higher we keep climbing on that XRP rich list. Top 10% holder, 2,373 XRP. Where will those bags be when that regulation jar of molasses finally breaks open and XRP's true price is finally revealed? We'll catch you up here on the mothership. BYOB, bring your own bags, be your own bank, be your own boss. And don't forget to drop an elbow from the top ropes on that likey button. We'll see you at the tippy top. Later, glitches.
Later, glitches.
Can you take me with you when we blow up? Can you take me with you when we blow up? When we